What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Get These Facts NYC. Today I'm alone. Today I'm going to be reviewing Smackdown, talking a little bit about some wrestling news that happened throughout the course of the... Who the hell's this guy?
Actually, the famous McGillard is here, and I'm putting my shades on because I look dead as fuck. I can't curse. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
Anyway, so today we're going to be here talking about a little bit about the past Smackdown that just dropped, and we want to talk about some wrestling news that dropped as well. I know they talked about The Rock. We talked about that on our last podcast, but the only reason why I'm mentioning today, again, about his quiet retirement, is because Smackdown is supposed to be coming up on this SmackDown 1000 stuff and all these new events or something.
The SmackDown that's going to be the first SmackDown that's going to Fox.
Going to Fox. And they're supposed to be premiering on Fox. And they want it to be a big show. I know they talked about inviting The Rock before to that show. They talked about inviting Trump. They talked about inviting a bunch of people. They wanted to be a big event.
Yeah, do not invite Trump.
Hey. And so now we're kind of wondering now, is The Rock even going to show up to that? What do you think, Miguel? Is he going to show up and just not wrestle? Or
he's probably going to show up. Remember, SmackDown, it all started because of The Rock. But as far as him wrestling inside the ring, I don't think so. If anything, the most he'll do is probably rock bottom somebody like he always does. Literally, he's become the new Brock Lesnar, where he just does like a couple moves. That's it.
And I wonder if The Rock's agents will allow him to even do that. They always talk about him being a liability if he shows up and wrestles and things like that. They're scared he's going to get injured. I mean, with all that muscle, how could he get injured at this point? I mean,
well, then again, I can understand from their point of view. And it's kind of messed up. I mean, I don't know how these movie stars they live their lives, but the agents they decide whether or not he could go back or not. Oh wow, we
got some notifications here.
We apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. But but as far as Dwayne, and for those of you that don't watch silly Disney movies, that's The Rock. Yeah, he's hopefully he can make that appearance on the SmackDown, the first episode of SmackDown when it goes to Fox.
And see if he layeth the Smack It Down.
On whose candy ass.
So going into SmackDown that just passed, so the first match, we're going to go down the line today. We're going to try to be a little bit quicker this time because I know we drag along sometimes. We get a little lost in conversation.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the podcast is all about.
That's what it's for. But anyway, so Kevin Owens came out. He did this whole speech talking about how Shane McMahon wasn't going to show up, and he started fake crying and doing all this stuff, and it was quite entertaining. I liked it, but let's face it, Kevin Owens is right. Most of us don't want to see Shane on TV anymore. He's been on TV way too much, and he's just kind of stealing the spotlight from wrestlers that should be on TV and wrestlers that are kind of underplayed and undervalued. So he came out, he kind of spoke on that, and then he did his little promo gimmick. It's the usual wrestler thing, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna beat him at the next pay-per-view. I'm gonna beat him at SummerSlam," and all this stuff, which is cool. But of course, that's just the kind of common thing that they're gonna.
But let me ask you, Michael, and let me ask actually the viewers listening at home or in your car or whatever. Do you find it fair that Kevin Owens is the only one getting a stipulation in this match?
Actually, yes, I'm glad you brought that up, Miguel, because I was actually going back and forth with Miguel recently about this, saying, wait, there's a stipulation for Kevin Owens saying he's going to quit.
He's going to quit if he loses,
But why not make this an I Quit match? I mean, why not bring that back? And maybe Shane can't quit from the company, obviously, but he could quit from being in ring and quit.
I mean, well, he's done it before.
Yeah, so why not?
Yeah, he's quit from the company, so I don't know.
I mean, I would think that would be way more entertaining. And to me, they're kind of going on to this whole kind of thing where they're just trying to make it seem like the beef between Stone Cold and Vince McMahon from back in the day. And it seems like they're trying to bring that back with Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens, seeing that he's doing the stunner and all this stuff now.
Would you say that Kevin Owens is the next Stone Cold Steve Austin?
I was saying that. I did say that, I think, in a podcast before. And the only reason why is because at first I was a little cringy about him doing the stunner. And it was kind of weird to me, but the people who he was doing it on in the beginning, for example, Xavier Woods, they were selling it so amazingly that to me it started kind of standing out to me, and it started being like something I was more comfortable with. And actually, I think he could be the next Stone Cold, but we actually saw a clip where we was listening to Stone Cold the actual Stone Cold on his podcast talking to Hulk Hogan about this topic. And they made some comments about Kevin Owens where Hulk Hogan actually said that he believes Kevin Owens is going to be the next biggest thing, and that when Kevin Owens first came on to WWE, that Hulk Hogan was vouching for him a lot and saying that this guy's got it. He's good at promos. He's good at wrestling. He's gonna be someone who stands out from the other people in the crowd in the back in the locker room.
Right.
And according to Hulk Hogan, not a lot of people agreed with him. A lot of people wasn't on the same boat. They were saying that Kevin Owens is just kind of a regular thing. But we're kind of seeing him flourish now, going into the present and into his future, far more than we did before. I mean, some people might disagree with me on that only because of his career in NXT. I know his career in NXT was great.
It was great, and it wasn't even it was kind of short because he got called up to the main roster right away.
And he got the title pretty fast.
And he got the title, and the first opponent he beat, John Cena.
Yeah, and that was amazing. That was his first match.
Yeah,
I think on main roster, right?
Yeah, he beat John Cena, the 16-time champion.
Isn't that the same record as Ric Flair? No.
John Cena. He's tied with Ric Flair. So if Cena wins one more title, no, we do not want to see that.
We don't want to see that. Cena's probably going to follow in Rock's track like he always does and just retire right now anyway. So
but
we won't see that.
I have the comments that Stone Cold has made about Kevin Owens.
Up here. Perfect.
Right?
Perfect.
So, and I quote, "With Kevin Owens, don't throw my name on there. This guy can talk a lot of trash. He is great in the ring, and he's using my finisher. But hell, no one is going to be the next Steve Austin." I remember when people were saying I was going to be the next Ric Flair when I was in WCW. No one's ever going to be the next Ric Flair, and you're not going to see the next Hulk Hogan or the next Bret Hart either. It just doesn't happen that way. People like to say that because of the similarities, but what we should be saying is, I want this guy to be the next big thing.
Which is pretty much what Hulk Hogan said right after that. He said he is going to be the next biggest thing, and that he called Owens a grinder. He said, I'm telling you, if you give this guy a chance to get over, he'll chop meat and he'll grind and this and that and the other. So he was basically kind of talking Kevin Owens up, and Stone Cold actually agreed with him. He might have not said that he was going to be the next him, but he did agree that Kevin Owens is up there and he's probably going to be the next biggest thing, if not already the next biggest thing.
And then he ended up speaking about Owens using the Stone Cold Stunner. And I quote, my finish was being used by someone else before I really made it famous or trademarked it. So to speak, so I told him, go ahead and use the Stone Cold Stunner.
Wow, so he actually advocated for him using it, and I like that. I like that because, no one's ever, I mean, maybe you could correct me here, but as far as I know, no one's ever done the Stunner besides Stone Cold, have they? In WWE, at least.
And as far as WWE, nope. The only person that comes to mind is literally just Stone Cold Steve. And if you don't want to consider this, but John Cena doing that springboard stunner, which is so horrible.
Not the Stone Cold. I mean, there's no kick in the beginning. There's no groin shot. But no, I get that. And the reason why I'm mentioning that, as being something that's a top selling point for Kevin Owens and having the stunner is because, let's face it, for instance, I'll give you one example, the super kick. Too many people are reusing moves from the old times, and it's kind of watering down those moves to the point that they're not finishers anymore. They're just regular strikes.
Like regular strikes,
things, and it kind of it downplays the super kick, because I was a huge fan of the super kick all my life, all my childhood. But now, I'll tell you right now, I hate the super kick. I'm so sick of it. Every tag team does it. Every wrestler does it. They don't even do it as a signature. They just do it to do it, and it kind of just devalues that move completely. So anyway, going into SmackDown again, going back to this Kevin Owens thing, he fought Drew McIntyre, which was a pretty good match. It was hit and miss, I think. I mean, some points was very interesting, some points wasn't. But Kevin Owens ended up coming out with the win. And speaking of the super kick, he actually did the super kick first and then the Stone Cold Stunner. Could have just left out the super kick, but I guess everybody loves it. Everybody wants to see it.
Right, and in a way that kind of proves your point about the super kick being just a regular move.
It's overused at this point. It's way too much.
Right.
And then the next match that we want to go down, because we just want to go down the list for you guys to kind of just get it all out, is Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross And they fought Bayley and Ember Moon. And this match was actually funny to me because Bayley's scheduled to fight Ember Moon.
Right, in the SummerSlam.
In SummerSlam.
SummerSlam pay-per-view.
And in the words of a lot of these articles, the SummerSlam extravaganza. Super selling point right there. That's marketing right there, extravaganza. And the funny part about this match was that at the end, Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss actually came out with the win. And then at the end, Bayley bellied
Ember Moon.
Ember Moon.
Yeah.
And to me, that's kind of a heel move. Is Bayley gonna start switching her character? She's gonna repackage herself. What was that?
I don't even believe that because I'm still kind of believing that they're gonna go down that path that Sasha Banks will return.
Mm.
Hey, for all we know, she could return SummerSlam night. She could.
You think that's a possibility?
It could be a possibility because I'm already hearing all these rumors, and I know Sasha. She was training like somewhat recently, like in New Japan. She was training.
But I mean. Would she be training in New Japan to come back to WWE though? Because I mean, let's face it, we've seen a lot of this controversy with Sasha. She was posting a lot of things on her social media, kind of mirroring the things that Jon Moxley was saying about transitioning from Dean Ambrose to Jon Moxley, and kind of saying that she wants a new image, a new gimmick, and a new everything. And she was kind of shitting on the WWE, to be honest. She was kind of just downplaying them. She was saying a lot of bad things about them, and a lot of her messages were subliminals. I mean, they were like kind of like Riddler things, you know what I mean? Like just kind of just saying some riddle and you have to figure it out. But they were pretty easy to figure out.
Yeah, but you think it's all work though? You know, that's to get the fans to believe that, oh wow, she's really done with WWE.
I mean, I think it's possible that it's work, but I'll disagree with you actually in the sense that if it was work, then why does it seem like to me, as far as with this Bayley stuff and all this stuff, that Sasha's being punished? For being the bad apple and kind of just having a lack of sportsmanship. When she lost her tag titles, she was so upset and she was just talking so badly about the Iconics and about the title, saying that they would lack prestige.
But then again, at this point, the Iconics, I'm a huge fan of the Iconics. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I love them.
I love that.
But as far as them being champions, like, they barely defend the championship now.
Right.
You know, like...
I mean, this is the thing that I kind of like about them avoiding tag team, defending their titles and things like that. Is that, yeah, we don't get to see them in the ring a lot or anything like that, but they're more entertaining during their promos than their matches.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
And we still see a lot of the promo stuff. And the reason why I don't mind them not defending too much, I do want them to defend. I kind of like the way that Peyton Royce wrestles and even Billie Kay. But the reason why I kind of like it is because they are going to this whole Eddie Guerrero feel where they're liars, cheaters, stealers, and they avoid defending and they're doing all this stuff. And I like it because Peyton Royce at least, she looks up to Eddie Guerrero.
She looks up to Eddie Guerrero,
and it kind of mirrors his style of being a champion and stuff like that. I mean, Eddie was a smaller guy. And a lot of times when people wanted to get a chance at getting his title, he would always come up with different excuses and things like that. And I think it's funny because it mirrors that.
Oh, man.
And it's kind of in tribute to Eddie Guerrero in that sense.
Oh, my God. Yo, Eddie, we miss you.
Yeah, I miss that guy, man. No, so I'm going to get a I'm Your Papi shirt I'm going to wear for the next podcast.
But then again, in a way, I guess I could see it because there's not really a lot of women tag team that could really go up against the Iconics.
Yeah,
the only one that could come to mind is just Asuka and
right.
Kylie.
What's their name?
The something Warrior. The Kabuki Warriors. Just little insight. They chose that name. So for all of you saying that WWE chose, no, they decided.
Don't blame it on Paige.
Don't blame it on Paige. We love Paige. Yes.
So that was kind of weird to me. I think Ember Moon, last SmackDown, she pulled something like that also, right? Or was it on Raw where she at the end of the match she attacked Bayley or something like that? Or
it had to have been SmackDown because
I think it was the last SmackDown.
She doesn't. I think no. She did.
It was probably the last SmackDown, but I guess this was Bayley getting back to Ember Moon on that.
Awesome, and it must have been the SmackDown before this week.
It was before this week. And I guess that's why Bayley did it. It's probably not a heel move, but I'm just in high hopes of that because I always wanted to see Bayley as a heel.
That's something
but maybe she won't do as good as a heel. You think she'll do good as a heel?
I'm so used to her being a face.
Yeah, I don't know.
But then again,
is she gonna turn her hugs to jabs?
Oh, I am so with that.
What could she do as a hugger and a heel? I don't know. But I would love her to switch her gimmick. I would love her to do that.
Maybe her as a heel. Maybe she'll actually have her hair down.
Get rid of the ponytail.
Yeah, please. She looks way better with her hair down.
Yes,
but that's my opinion. So.
And then so going forward, the next match was Dolph Ziggler versus Finn Balor, which off paper you would actually assume that would be a great match, and the match wasn't that bad actually.
It was okay.
It was okay. It wasn't that bad. But on paper that match looks better than it was on TV. But anyway, so Dolph Ziggler actually won. He defeated Finn Balor, and I think it was some kind of distraction or something that happened there that he won.
The Fiend.
Yes, it was the Fiend.
The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. They're already working towards this match that Finn Balor has against the Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
They're pushing this rivalry again, and you know what's funny? It's something that I mentioned to McGillar recently. Is that this rivalry was pushed before the Fiend even came?
Yes. It was the Demon that was supposed to go against Sister Abigail.
Right.
Well, one, I'm just going to throw it out there. Bray really as Sister Abigail? How are they going to do that?
I guess he's transgendered at that point.
Oh my, damn. They must have been pushing for that. Wow.
Yeah, he could have came back as Nyla Rose.
Oh my God, yo.
But anyway. So they were pushing that beef before, and then the match never happened. So I guess this is kind of them revamping that rivalry and kind of getting it over with. But I like it in some ways. I kind of don't in other ways. I think the Fiend can actually have a better rival than Finn Balor.
Right, and Bray Wyatt, like we said in our previous podcast, he has total control of this new character.
Right. So
let's see how he does.
Let's see.
Because I know Finn Balor, he's supposed to take some time off right after SummerSlam.
Any predictions on that match? Actually, I'll tell you the way I think that the match is going to go.
All right, let's hear it.
If Finn Balor comes out as the Demon, he's going to win. But if he comes out as Finn Balor, the Fiend is going to win. And I think he's not going to come back as the Demon. I think he's going to come back as Finn Balor. He's going to enter the match as Finn Balor. The Fiend is going to win, right? And then they're going to push this beef further to where eventually the Demon will fight the Fiend. And maybe Finn will win that rematch. But I don't think Finn is going to win at SummerSlam.
Yeah, but I mean, I know Finn Balor, he's lost as the Demon.
He's lost before.
He's lost, Demon. Yes.
Against who?
If I'm not mistaken, I hope I'm saying this correctly, but I think he's lost it to Samoa Joe in NXT.
Wow.
They had a steel cage match for the title, and Finn has lost. Yes.
Interesting.
I hope I'm right.
So maybe he could come as the Demon.
Right. If I'm wrong, guys, please comment down, please.
And correct us.
But
anyway. So I don't know. I still stand strong with my prediction. I think that Finn is gonna lose this time, and they're gonna push the rivalry further, and then have.
But you think so?
Finn
Even with Finn taking time off right after SummerSlam?
Oh, that makes actually yes, because then that'll give room for the Fiend to get other wins off of other people before they eventually kind of topple the Fiend with the Demon.
Man. I mean, I'm still kind of going through that path that Finn Balor is going to return. When he returns, he's going to come back to join the OC.
Oh, I hope so.
The OC.
I hope so. That would be amazing. I really hope so. And I hope they go for Survivor Series.
Yeah.
The Undisputed versus the OC. That'll be amazing. But anyway, so after that, I think it was after this, they had the King's Court thing.
Yes, the perverted Jerry the King War.
And it was the whole thing with Trish Stratus and Charlotte and everything, and we knew that the match was booked before they even did this promo, so we knew it was gonna happen. And Trish was kind of teasing in there, kind of saying that she wasn't with it, she wasn't gonna do it.
Well, it didn't help when there was already sources out there saying that she was in the performance center training already.
That was well. So and maybe you could tell me what you think here, Miguel. But Trish Stratus's promos, man, they've gotten as dry as Natalya. I mean, she used to be so much better back then.
No, that was back then, my guy.
Oh, come on. I mean, come on. Once it's in you, I don't think it should leave. It's like riding a bike, man. You should be able to do it. I mean, look at Stone Cold.
Oh, no, he's never lost. Yeah, you're right. He's never lost it.
Or look at The Rock when he comes back. He still has it. I mean, I see a lot of
You think that's all them, like, not following the script?
Definitely. Because these guys in Attitude Era, they had full creative control.
Right.
And they would make their promos on the spot. They would kind of just do it and wing it. And it came out great. And they're used to winging things more than scripting and going to script, on script. So I don't think if they came back and did a scripted promo, it would sound as good. The fact that they sound so good is because they're not scripted. And you know what? Now it's just hitting me now. Maybe you're making a good point here. Maybe Trish had a scripted promo, and that's why she sounds so dry.
So dry now, yeah.
Maybe she sounded so terribly because of that, and they should have just let her do her own thing. But hopefully some news will come out about that later, and maybe we can confirm whether she had the creative control at that point or not.
Right.
But wow, Miguel, that was a great point. That was a great point. But anyway, one thing that disappointed me during that promo was that when Trish came out, Jerry didn't say, "The puppies!" He should have said the puppies, man.
He was so obsessed with her years ago.
He was so upset. I mean, that's probably the only thing that made sense about Jerry the King Lawler doing that whole promo with her, is that he was so obsessed with her. I mean, think about it. Jerry the King Lawler's obsession with Trish Stratus is kind of the same as Corey Graves' obsession with Mandy Rose. Isn't it pretty much similar? Is it the same thing? Maybe that thing is scripted too. Maybe it's not real.
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't blame Corey Graves for being obsessed with Mandy Rose. I mean, look at her.
I don't blame him.
Exactly. And then with Trish, I mean, she still look good.
Yeah.
She still look good.
She looks amazing. She's a little skinnier than she was before,
but she still look good.
My thing, but I actually, she looked great. She looked good, especially for her age and the fact that she's had one or two children.
Two kids.
It was two kids.
2 kids, yeah.
Correct us if I'm wrong. But anyway, and then the next match, second to last match here, I'm looking at here is Ali defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. That match was actually very good. I like that match.
Now, are they, I mean, why are they trying to push Ali all of a sudden? That's
know.
my thing.
You know, for some reason, something tells me that Shinsuke is a part of that. I think Shinsuke actually wanted to push Ali, because if you look at the match closely, Shinsuke was he's always a good seller. Right. But he was overselling with Ali, and I don't know if that was direction of the company telling him to do that, or Shinsuke actually likes Ali, because I don't know if you guys know, but not only is Ali very famous and popular in the WWE universe, people love him on Twitter, people love him everywhere, they love those promos, those inspirational promos that he was giving. People were going crazy about that. But not only that, a lot of people backstage, you know, in the locker room, they love Ali. They love him a lot, and I could kind of see it. Excuse me, these blue moons. I could kind of see it because just off the body language and looking at Ali, off face value, he looks like such a decent guy. He looks like a pretty good guy. I mean, I think I'd get along with him. What do you think?